Pope Paul I, the only pope to succeed his own brother, is remembered for defending sacred images, sheltering Eastern refugees, restoring Martyrs' relics, and strengthening papal authority over the Papal States. Welcome to the Pontiff as we journey into the lives and contributions of the 267 popes of the Catholic Church, presented by CNewsLive. The election of Pope Paul I marked a singular moment in the history of the Church. It was the only time a younger brother succeeded his elder brother as head of the Church and successor to Saint Peter. Ordained a deacon by Pope Zacharias, Paul served faithfully as the closest advisor, counselor, and intercessor to his brother, Pope Stephen II, throughout his reign. Following the death of Pope Stephen II, Paul was unanimously elected Pope at the end of April AD 757. However, his consecration as Bishop of Rome was delayed by a month. A small faction opposed the growing alliance with the Frankish dynasty and instead argued that the Archdeacon Theophylact should ascend to the papacy. The controversy ended when Paul was finally consecrated as the 93rd Pope of the Holy See on the 29th of May AD 757. From the beginning of his pontificate, Pope Paul I dedicated himself to strengthening and consolidating papal authority over the newly annexed Papal State. Yet his reign was marked by political tension. A peace treaty had been concluded between the Frankish king Pepin and the Lombard king Aistulf. But when Desiderius rose to power as the new Lombard king, he outright rejected the agreement. King Pepin, though a previous ally, refused to intervene militarily. His concern was that any direct conflict might lead to an unholy alliance between the Lombards and the Byzantine emperor, one that could threaten to reclaim territories both from the Lombards and the Byzantine Empire. In place of military action, Pepin chose diplomacy. He sought a peaceful compromise between King Desiderius and Pope Paul I. As part of this diplomatic settlement, Pope Paul was asked to scale back his expansive vision for the Papal States. During this time, a theological storm known as the iconoclast controversy erupted once more. In AD 754, Byzantine Empire Constantine V convened a council at Hieria, where he formally banned the use and veneration of holy images in churches. The decree triggered widespread persecution, particularly in the Eastern Church. Refugees fleeing for their lives found safe haven in the West. Pope Paul I welcomed them and gave them refuge within Roman territory. Emperor Constantine V then attempted to win the support of King Pepin for his iconoclastic policies, but Pepin rejected the appeal. In AD 767, a synod was held at Gentilly, where the Franks and Greeks engaged in theological debate over iconoclasm and the nature of the Trinity. In the end, the synod confirmed and reaffirmed the teachings of the papacy. Amid all these changes, Pope Paul I continued his pastoral work. Yet his final days were marked by physical exhaustion. To escape the oppressive heat of Rome, he took refuge in the Basilica of St. Paul. There, on the 28th of June, AD 767, he peacefully attained eternal rest. His mortal remains were solemnly interred in the sacred grounds of St. Peter's Basilica. Opinions about Pope Paul I's personal and pastoral styles were mixed. Some lauded his compassion, especially towards the poor and imprisoned. One of the most significant achievements of his reign was the recovery of the sacred relics of martyrs who had suffered during religious persecutions. These holy remains, once hidden in underground catacombs, were swiftly retrieved and reburied in the churches and chapels throughout Rome, preserving the memory of the Church's earliest witness to the faith. Another major development during his reign was the end of the papal monarchy in Rome. Though it led to a brief schism following his death, the more lasting effect was the removal of clergy from the process of electing popes, a change that would shape the governance of the Church for years to come. Pope Paul I's life was one of service, suffering, and spiritual leadership during a time of political and religious upheaval. And in the end, he left a legacy marked by devotion, resilience, and reform. Please subscribe to our channel and like our videos. Join us next time to learn about the next Pontiff. Until then, this is Soni Manoj signing off for CNewsLive.